Hi, my name is Lieutenant John Hutton from the Pennsauken Fire Department. Nationally, the month of October is recognized as Fire Prevention Month. You're probably used to seeing us in your schools delivering our fire safety program and touring our fire apparatus. Unfortunately, this year, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we're unable to visit your school. Instead, we'll be offering a virtual fire safety program. 2020 has been a challenging and difficult year for all of us, filled with many firsts. This is a first for us as well. We hope you enjoy the video.
This is Firefighter Cologne, and what we're going to do at this time is show you him as he puts on all his gear and show you that he doesn't change and that he's not someone to be afraid of. He's there to help you, and if you see him, you want to get to him. So what we're going to do is have Firefighter Cologne start putting his gear on. He's going to remove his shoes, and he's going to put his boots and bunker pants on. These pants are almost like your snow pants that you wear when you go out in the snow. It covers him up. He's got his boots. His legs are covered real good. Next, Firefighter Cologne is going to put on his hood. And his hood is going to help protect his neck and the top of his head, even though he may not keep it on the whole time. But it's we put it on in this order for a reason. He's still the same good-looking firefighter, right? Next, he's going to put on his radio. And we wear our radio under our coat to help protect it because fire's hot and we need our radio to communicate with each other. Next, he's going to grab his turnout coat. It's a pretty heavy coat. It's probably like your winter coat, but double the weight. It's got a really super thick lining to protect his skin. It keeps the heat away from him, keeps the moisture off his back. And you'll see it has lots of closures. It has Velcro and snaps and little hooks. And these are all different layers to keep the smoke and fire and heat away from him. And if you look, he still looks like the same guy. Okay. Next, we're going to have him put on his air pack. That air pack weighs about 35 pounds. A little added weight onto his back. In that bottle is air. It's not oxygen. It's the same air we're breathing right now in the room. And he's put his waist straps on so it keeps the pack nice and secure. And you see he has a mask. He's disconnecting. Now his mask he's going to put on, and it's going to cover his face, and that's what he's going to breathe through. And again, still nothing to be afraid of. He's still the same firefighter. And now you see how he put his hood up over top of the mask. What's eventually going to happen is Firefighter Cologne is going to have no skin exposed. The only skin you're going to see is through that glass mask. Next, we're going to have Firefighter Cologne put on his gloves. And now that he has his air connected, or unconnected, Firefighter Matt's going to turn the bottle on, and then Firefighter Cologne's going to reconnect. You heard that little bit of a vibration there? That's just the air going into the face mask. And if you look, no skin except where his eyes are, but he's still the same guy. You hear that heavy breathing? Nothing to be afraid of. And again, if Firefighter Cologne had to come into your house, he would probably be crawling and yelling for you. So this is what he would look like. He would be crawling through, yelling, fire department, is there anyone in here? And if you hear him, you want to yell back to him so he can help find you. You can help him find you. And again, just wanted to show you he's nothing to be afraid of. He's still the same guy, and he's there to help you. So if, God forbid, this was to happen, you would know to go to him. And we're going to disconnect the air and just show you that he's still the same guy. And again, that little beep you just heard is just an alarm. It lets him know that his air is working or he's not moving enough. And that's how we would know if Firefighter Cologne was in danger. If he stopped moving for some reason, his alarm would go off and then we could help him. goodness. Do any of you boys or girls know what that sound is? It's a smoke detector. Do we all know what to do when we hear a smoke detector go off in our home? Hopefully you all do. One, if it's going off, find out what's going on and make sure we let our parents know. And if it's nighttime, we want to make sure everyone gets awake. Because some people sleep through these. It is loud, but at the same time, some people do sleep through them. But if you were to hear this, you know what we want to do. We want to get out and stay out. And make sure we have a meeting point. Do we all have a meeting point? That's some homework I'm going to give you to do tonight. If you don't have a meeting point, talk to mom or dad or grandmom and grandpop or your older brothers and sisters. Make sure you have a meeting point, whether it be the car out front, in the driveway, the big tree, or the fire plug 2 houses down. You want to have a meeting point because we don't want to go back in once we have a fire. We all love our dogs and our cats, but at the same time, we want to get out and stay out. Our pets are very smart. If the door is open, most of them are going to come out. And actually, with the smoke alarm going off, your dog is probably going to go a little crazy because he doesn't like the noise either, and he wants to get out and stay out. But there's no need to go back in for him. Once you're out, stay out. Animals are pretty smart, and they'll usually come out with you. Hello again, boys and girls. How many of you guys know what these items are over here? It looks like some of our grown-ups may have not put things back where they belong. It looks like we have a lighter and a pack of matches. What would you guys do if you found a lighter or a pack of matches or came upon these? Would you pick them up and give them to your brother or sister? Or would you not touch them at all and maybe let a grown-up know that they're there and they shouldn't be there? There's a lot of right or wrong answers, but the most important thing is just make sure an adult or a grown-up, grandma, grandpa, mom, or dad, get these items and put them away so no one can play with them because they're not toys.
Hi, my name is Firefighter Joe, and today we'll be going over Stop, Drop, and Roll. Today I have 2 friends from Pennsauken Schools, Wesley Moline and Jeremy Moline, and today we're going to be going over Stop, Drop, and Roll. When your clothes catch on fire, do not panic. You want to put your hands up, stop, cross your arms, drop, and you want to roll.
Hello everyone, I'm Lieutenant Norm Figueroa with the Pennsauken Fire Department, and behind me we have a 95-foot ladder truck that we use every day in the Pennsauken Fire Department. During this, I'm going to take you around and I'm going to show you some of the tools and equipment we use as firefighters to perform our job. First seat you have is my seat, the officer seat. Excuse my gear, but it has everything I need to perform my duty as the company officer. My tools, my equipment, and most importantly, my computer that shows me the type of call we're going to and information related to that call so we can better help the people that need our help. In the back here, in the crew cab, this is where the firemen sit. There is 1 seat for each fireman. We staff this vehicle, and they all have particular duties. So when we arrive at an emergency scene, no matter what the nature, everybody knows the duty they are to perform. This way we can be fluid in our motion and not delay the needed care that people or the emergency require. First compartment is our medical compartment. From time to time, you may or may not see a fire truck going to medical calls. Sick people, people having heart attacks, medical emergencies. We are trained and equipped with everything from a first aid kit to an external defibrillator to help people in need of medical emergencies. And we are all trained to perform those duties. This compartment here, we have a water vac. Not every emergency that we go to involves fire. Sometimes it may be a broken pipe or a flooded basement, and we will assist the resident in trying to get the water out and make the situation safe. And sometimes we have to vacuum out the water. Throughout the compartments, you're going to see sections of hose, and they are for getting water into this ladder truck when we need to. This compartment houses all of our what we call hand tools, and these are tools that we use during the course of a fire to what we call overhaul. And what that means is to open up the area that was on fire so we can make sure that the fire hasn't extended beyond that room, that area, and these are the tools that help us do it. Utility rope. Sometimes we have to haul equipment up or down, or we need to tie off a tree branch, or what have you. We have plenty of utility rope to do that. Again, in this compartment we have power tools, sawzalls, which are an electric saw to cut. We use them to cut vehicles, perform investigations, what have you. All of our hand tools and our power tools are in this compartment. This compartment houses our electronic fans. After the fire, smoke lingers inside of a building. We have to be able to get it out. These fans are very strong, very powerful fans, and they help us get the smoke out of the building, no matter smaller size for small buildings, big fan for the bigger buildings. This one we have the pads, which we put out when the ladder is in the air, which you've got to see some pictures of that. Hand tools, a water cooler, absorb and stay dry, automobile lockout kit. That's another thing that we perform. Sometimes people lock their keys in their car. We have the ability to help them get back into the car. Coming to the back side of the vehicle, to the ladder, you have the bucket, which is what we ride in. The unique thing about this ladder truck is that we can climb it or ride in it. The back in here is what we call the ladder nest. These are all portable ladders. They range in length from 10 feet to 35 feet. So we can deploy these usually these are deployed for fires to gain access or to get out of the second floors of buildings or dwellings. Coming around. Saw compartment. We have circular saws, same kind, two different blades, and a chainsaw. From time to time, we have to either force entry, which means get into a property that is secured. We have to use the one saw to cut, or we may have to ventilate the roof of a building. Depending on the style and the construction of the roof, would determine whether we use a chainsaw or this large circular type saw with a special blade on it. In this compartment we have a utility ladder, and we have the start of our vehicle extrication or vehicle rescue tools. This is a power unit. It's a gasoline motor that supplies hydraulic pressure through these lines to a tool called a combination tool. You may know it as the jaws of life. This tool can not only spread metal from a car, but it can also cut metal. These blocks are called cribbing. We use them to stabilize vehicles that are unstable if we need to deploy our rescue tools. This compartment is more additional cribbing of different sizes. All right, again, to build what we call a work platform. This compartment is the last rescue compartment for vehicles. These are what are known as struts. If a vehicle was on its roof or on its side, we can use these struts to support the vehicle so we can get the people out so the vehicle doesn't teeter or further roll over, causing more injury or harm to the occupants. Again, this compartment is the same one. We call this transverse. It's just more hand tools on the different side. Another short ladder. This compartment houses the driver's gear, and his SCBA. And last but not least is the compartment that houses our electrical junction box and our controls for our generator that is on board. And again, I'll go right to the driver's door. This is the driver's cab area. Of course, very much similar to a car. The exception is there are no keys to start this truck. This truck starts off a sequence of battery controls and ignition buttons. This is the primary importance of the driver, is getting us there to and from safely. If we can't get there, we can't help people, and that's a very big responsibility being the driver of one of these trucks. So that completes the tour of our 95-foot tower ladder. I hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to showing you more in the future. Thank you.
I'm Firefighter Bob Chester from the Pennsauken Fire Department. Today we're here to discuss fire escape plans from your home. Hopefully you have one designated for your home. If not, at the end of this program we're going to discuss how you can develop one and practice. To escape your house, you have a primary egress and a secondary egress from your house. Primary would be front door, back door. Secondary would be windows. If for some reason there's an emergency in your house, always exit the house by the front door or by the windows. It's important to develop a meeting point with your family. Typically it's a tree on the curb line, a bush out front, but once you're out front, do not go back into the house. Not for a dog, not for anything. Belongings, anything. Once you're out, stay out. So tonight, go home, practice with your parents, discuss with your parents, discuss what your meeting point could be, and practice, practice, practice. Once it's in your head, it'll stay in your head. If you're in an emergency situation, whatever you practice, you'll be successful at doing. And getting out of the house and going to that meeting spot will be the most important thing.
Hello, my name's Brandon Greenday. This here is engine 1132. For this shift I'm driving, and this is the driver's position. And I'm responsible for the safe operation of the vehicle during the shift. Aside from driving, this is my main area of responsibility. It's a 2,000 gallon a minute pump, and it carries 500 gallons of water. Through pulling any of these various levers, we can get water into the pump and then back out of the pump. Here we have the driver's compartment. On this shelf here we have the various appliances to connect the different size hoses and hydrants.
Hello boys and girls, I'm Firefighter Mark, and I wanted to show you some more stuff we have here on engine 1132. First we have a couple tools we quite frequently use. These are our fire extinguishers, something you all may have at home and we never play with, right? Only mommies and daddies. We have a little bigger one, and they're for smaller fires. Over here we have lots of other equipment that we use for lots of other different kinds of emergencies, because we don't only go on fires, we go on all kinds of emergencies. We have ropes and toolboxes full of all kinds of stuff to help us do whatever we have to do to help out in the emergency. One common emergency we go to are motor vehicle accidents all over town. These are our cutters, very strong, just like a pair of scissors, like you would use to cut anything else. These cut through steel and metal. These are our hydraulic spreaders, also known as the jaws of life. You probably remember us from last year showing us these. Very popular. We use these on cars as well as any other type of machinery or entrapment where people might be in danger. These help us get people out. We also have many types of saws that we use, just like the axe that we keep up front, used for chopping or cutting or helping us break through stuff, even doors if we have to. Anything that we need to help in any situation. Back here, this is where we keep all our fire hose. And if you can see, we have smaller hoses, bigger hoses, and medium hoses. These smaller hoses are what we use to actually put out the fire. These bigger hoses, these are called supply lines. We hook these up to the fire hydrants like you see outside of your house on the street, the things we never play with. This is what we'll hook up to them to get our water, and then we'll fight the fire with these little guys. We also have ladders. Many of you boys and girls have probably seen these. We use these for a lot of different things, mainly to get into possibly a house, a window, get up on a roof, anything we could do to assist in life safety, saving somebody's life in the event of a fire or any other bad situation. But we use these a lot. Now, boys and girls, on this side of the truck, we have saws just like we did on the other, but these are gas-powered saws. We also have 2 shovels and extra little tools to help us out when we work on emergencies.
Again, I hope you're enjoying our tour. Matt and Mark showed you some of our apparatus. I'm going to show you a little bit more. Here we have another pump panel or discharges on this side, just so we don't have to run hoses around the truck. And here's the compartment where the guys get ready when they're going to a call. This is where they get ready. We have our seats with our air packs built into the back of them. We have our flashlights, just different tools that are mounted here on the side. We have our irons and just anything we might need on the way. This is where the guys get ready. So when we get to the location, they're ready to go and to help you. This next door is where the officer rides. In this section, again, flashlight, radio, camera, a computer system. The computer keeps us up to date with what's going on, especially if things change on the way. We may be on the way to the fire and the police officer gets there first. He can pass information on, which helps us. But communication is the key to everything. If you also notice, firefighter Mark, everything he took out and showed you, he put back where it belongs. That's something we do here in the fire service. We have to do it. Anything we use, we put back exactly where it came from. So when the next crew needs it, we know where it is, because we're not always the same guys working. One of our most valuable pieces of equipment is our thermal imaging camera. This helps me to see, or any firefighter who's using it, in the heavy smoke or dark or conditions where I couldn't see normally. It's called, again, a thermal imager, and I'm going to shine it directly on firefighter Matt, and you're going to see what we see. And that whiteness is the heat coming off his body. So again, this is a valuable tool, and we are very lucky to have it. We have 3 of them here. We have 3 of this style here that we use all the time, and we have 3 backups. So we could have as many as 6 of them in use at any one time. God forbid if we had something of that magnitude. So I hope you enjoyed the tour. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Thanks.
This concludes our virtual fire safety program. We would like to thank Fire Chief Palumbo, Fire Official Paul, Ryan Wachter, and Frank Sinatra for their help in making this possible. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we hope to see you next year.